Director Morales.
Thank you. Nobody should be scratching their head about why people thought that the district was shutting down when the headline on the Jump on the Journal Sentinel article said, "District might close." I mean, it was an amazing moment in journalism history in Milwaukee. I also did not vote for this item to seriously considered dissolving. A member of the public who came to testify that night raised the issue. He said, why don't you just shut down? Shut down next week and then call the state and say, here it is, it's your problem. Very intriguing idea, what would happen? So we asked this research question. That's all it was, a research question. There was some framing in, well, the one place I saw it was in the Shepherd Express, that this was somehow playing into a ploy by the business community to take over the district. I can assure you that I totally not backed by the MMAC, and thought that it's worthwhile to ask this question regardless of what political winds might be blowing out there. And it is mostly winds consisting of hot air. But it is our responsibility to ask questions to figure out what's a reasonable step. And as Director Falk is, clearly defining the cliff that we may eventually go over, we have to be thinking, what's our plan? Who's going to catch the kids when we go over the edge? I think that's a legitimate question, but it was not in any way intended to be an attempt to dissolve the district, but merely to scope out what are our options. And I think Director Falk also has said some important things about our need to underline the seriousness of the situation. The district has been extremely adept over the past decade in dealing with what in absolute dollars appears to be a growing budget, but in fact is a declining budget relative to expenses. And I want to publicly thank Michelle Nate for her creativity. Every year she comes up with something that saves us. But even the most brilliant financial manager eventually runs out of clever solutions and big plans. And we're coming quickly to that wall if we're not already there. So I implore our state representatives and our federal representatives to take the situation seriously. Other districts that have faced bankruptcy or dissolution their only option was either to go to referendum or in one case, a wealthy alumnus was able to give millions of dollars to the district to keep the school open. That's not a public policy. That's a Band-Aid, and we can't survive patching up our budget every year. I think every committee member, every board member certainly has expressed strong desire to look critically at the budget and to do what we can do to keep things afloat. But again, all the creativity in the world is not going to solve the problems of a fatally flawed system. So please be active in contacting your legislators at the state and federal level and make sure that they know that especially in a tough economy, education is what will put our country back on good footing.